promised, every week we are going to drop some bombs on life little hacks that you can implement and should implement. Last week we talked about some minerals, some vitamins, some things like magnesium, super important. And these are little things. These are deviations from our normal kind of elevate from thrive to or survive to thrive. But there's just little specifics, and it's kind of fun because why not? We are experts. I am an expert in health and nutrition and other aspects of what we do in spine issues, and we are soon to be on a whole nother level. More coming soon on that, and we are going to elevate the health game. I have made this year about you, 100% about you, and helping you elevate your world. Of course, it's always been about you, but we haven't really actively ever been able to say, hey, specifically, if you're watching me on video right now, I'm trying to get my camera to focus. There it is. So you're probably like, what the hell is this guy doing? But no, anyways, this year is being 100% about you. That was our vision that we set forth, is that how can we help people elevate their game? How can we help them get to this level? And this comes across the board on communications. It comes across our communications. How can we communicate our message better? How can we actually elevate what we deliver? Meaning how we fulfill this avenue of health. A lot of people need spine. They need spine stuff. You need to change your spine. And a lot of people need nutrition. And so we're elevating the game on nutrition. Again, more to come on this. We are going to do something that is this is revolutionary. I mean, you're going to be blown away as long as we can stay as clean as we can possibly stay clean in the aspects of getting a good legal team to be around us, help us, and do what we need to do, because it's gonna turn some heads, and it's gonna be a little bit off the mark, out of the chapters of medicine in years past, but in a way to elevate health like you've never seen in an instant. Like literally turn stuff on and off quickly, from chronic diseases to just overall elevating your performance. If you're an endurance athlete, elite athlete, somebody that just likes to be a weekend warrior, we're going to have something for everybody. But today we're going to specifically go into meditation. I did a post on this earlier in the week. And it kind of struck a chord, and people were like, I like meditation. So if you are of the religious sorts and you hear the word meditation, don't turn it off yet. If you already did, oh well, we lost you. Goodbye and good luck. But the concept of meditation, get over it. It's just a word. It's like cucumber. It's like getting mad at cucumber. Because of your stories and your beliefs, you are going to believe cucumbers are bad. All right? Just because of some experiences that you had. Whatever. Okay? If you are, like I said, of the religious sorts, it's meditation tends to be the antithesis of prayer. Like, why would you meditate when you can pray? And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you exactly what the differences are. All right, the differences are, and I think you'll find one in the same. I think you'll find it one in the same in the aspects of what it does for you. For instance, my meditation actually can turn into prayer sometimes. It is a connection, all right? I don't even have the definition of prayer really in my mind anymore, because prayer is an act of desperation quite often. I got taught to pray when things were bad. I never really prayed in gratitude. Sometimes we did. We would give thanks for food and give thanks and these types of things. But usually when stuff went well, that's when I really didn't even think about those types of things. Well, shit, when things were really bad, that's when you're like, desperation. So I've kind of retrained my mind to just be connected as much as I can. And I have conversations. There with my spiritual being. Okay, so this is off the mark, but meditation is a avenue, if you will, to be able to create some space. Now, why am I talking about it as a health practitioner, as a doctor? Well, because we know, and I can pull study after study after study, if you create that space, you can actually reduce your blood pressure. It literally releases hormones that can have a positive or anabolic effect whether it's repairing things in your body that need repairing, versus the hormones that have a catabolic or breakdown effect. And so you have this possibility to be able to pull into a space and change your physiology from your mind to your body. You can actually create a healing pattern. All right, and there's different types of meditation. There's guided meditation. There's just being quiet. There's what we call a shift lift that I've learned from a gentleman. A shift lift is just a quick, and I'll walk you through those, a quick way to shift an energy state real quick. Like if you're depressed, if you're anxious, if there's stuff going on. I did this the other day with Kellen. I was across the mat. We had a wrestling tournament on Sunday across the mat. He had one to go to actually win for the day, one to go, and he was just a little bit keyed up on it. There was a kid that he had lost to previously because he made a bonehead move the week before. So there was that element that gets in your mind. It's this element that gets in your mind that you're like, okay, I got this situation. It didn't go so well last week, and I have to carry that loss into this week and actually go after this again. So we have the loss that's there, and I could see as he's pacing back and forth, there was just this anxiety that was just building up. And I look across, and he looks at me. I pointed to my nose. He looked at me. I said, point to my nose, and a deep breath in. He could see me in through my nose, out through my mouth. And he just immediately goes into this, closed his eyes, deep breath in, and all the way out, deep breath in, and all the way out, deep breath in, and all the way out. And I'm going to take you through a little bit of a guided meditation here in just a second. But the concept was that immediately he started smiling after he opened his eyes again. He goes, nods his head forward and backwards. He's like, okay, I got this. And he went out and actually did a phenomenal job. It was a close match, but he won. And was it because of the meditation? No, I mean, the meditation, basically, all it did is create some space for him to not let his body take over his mind, but allowed his mind to just soothe his body to be able to control the situation and go and do what he needed. All right. I used to do this. If anybody has ever gone through college and stuff like that, you get test anxiety, where like literally they've shown that you constrict the frontal cortex. So like where you store everything that you need to regurgitate it onto paper to be able to get a good grade. You have stress and anxiety actually constricts, it vasoconstricts, so you can't get blood flow to the area. It's like you can't access what you need to access to be able to put it down on paper. And it's like this test anxiety, you just, I'm like, I knew it all, and now I can't find it. It's in my brain somewhere, I can't find it. Okay, but the deep breaths and being able to relax in this moment can make a huge difference. So I don't care what your situation is, you can use meditation. Here's my suggestion is that you meditate at a specific time and place consistently every day. And doesn't matter how much time you do. Sometimes you're going to find yourself wanting more, sometimes a little bit less, but you're going to actually consistently get out there and do some meditation. Okay? Here's the deal. Meditation creates space. I don't care what your look at it is. It's like weird. It's voodoo. It's access to different mediums. All right. So whatever. I mean, if you're a Satanist, you can use meditation to find Satan. I don't know. But, just because it has Eastern roots, hell, a lot of things have Eastern roots. A lot of our medicine has Eastern roots. It's what we took everything from. So my point is, obviously you can tell if you don't have a stigma about this, I probably have a bigger one than you. All right. But meditation has always been in my world, kind of just this stigma of like, I don't know. It's a little weird. And of course, if you're sitting there on the table or sitting there in a chair in the cross-legged style with your fingers and that, thumb and forefinger touching each other and just and I used to make fun of that. Oh my God, really? I'm not going to sit down. I go, But they've actually proven that the Om is one of the most powerful words. It resonates at a frequency that is beyond anything else. It is the most powerful word ever. And look it up. Look it up. So, and it's why the Gregorian chants kind of came about. They had that same essence. That same essence. I believe that was a Christian pastor, it's priest actually, if you will, of the Roman Catholic age that came up with the Gregorian chants, which were a version of the ohms. They were chants in that same frequency, the om. But it is the concept that allows, and it resonates at a frequency that allows your body to create space, your mind creates some space, and then things to settle down. So I'm like, if that's the most powerful word in the world as far as usage and what we could do with that, it makes sense that we maybe use that or listen to that to be able to shift our mind. Our mind is a ball of frequencies. There's theta waves and beta waves and alpha waves and all these types of things go on. So why not? Why not find different frequency that you resonate with? But this is what you're going to do. Here's the survive to thrive kind of checkbox, if you will, is finding that place where you can create some space where it's quiet. Okay, I like a little bit of music. Sometimes I'll listen to rainfall. Sometimes I'll listen to, just like a focus. Sometimes I'll do a guided meditation, and sometimes I'll just have quiet. It depends on kind of my mood, what I want to do. But I will say one thing that I walk out of this with: it is clarity in space. There's clarity in space. Sometimes I'll get into this mode and I'm like, and I got to kind of stop the meditation, write some stuff down, get it off because I'm like, I have a to-do list and this has got to get done. And then right back into that. And what meditation does for me is allows me the space to be able to get my mind clear to target what I need to do for the day. Okay. So it's 100% selfish. It's 100% selfish for me to get my day in order. So I can get focused and have a productive day. I don't get my meditation in, I get agitated. Real quick. I don't have that space. Things go overwhelmed. I'm like, here's my list, and then you just topped everything on top of it. Like, here's my list, and then everything just got piled onto it because I didn't get actually some space to deal with my list, get my priorities straight, and then boom, I hit the day and everything starts coming at me. So if I don't take time to create that space, things get stacked on me. What do you think my blood pressure does? Yeah, it goes up. It goes up. And then even more so because I'm irritated at the fact that I could have created some space and got this stuff where I could, hey, this is my priority. This is what I'm getting done. Regardless of whatever comes at me, this is what I'm getting done. And then I have that other stuff. And so, yeah, my body starts to get broken down. I get tired. I get frustrated. All right. Those are frequencies that we don't want to deal with. And so if you're constantly in this cul-de-sac, this roundabout, if you will, of like triggers and anger and frustrations, and meditation is where you need to start. Now, I mentioned this, I'm going to blend two worlds here. My meditation actually creates enough space for me, enough quiet, that I can hear. I know this sounds weird, but I can hear. I can literally hear. I calm all the thoughts, and I'm going to work you through this just quickly here. I'm going to walk you all the way through this. If you've never done a meditation, or if you've done a little bit and you're like, I don't know, one of those types of things. Because it is one of the healthiest things you can do. Mark my words. You're going to create so much space for a lot of things that you want in your life. All right? And this is across the board. But here's the deal. When I create that space and get rid of the thoughts that are kind of just going on in my head, I create the space to be able to be quiet in the essence of my mind and my spirit. And I'm able to hear. So for me, this turns into a connection. All right. You guys can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it God. I'm going to call it my creator. I have a frequency that does not exist here on this earth. I've talked about this before. It exists not of this earth. It's fun to think about. I am not of this earth. I know where I'm going at the end. I do. I have no doubts about that because I am not of this earth. I'm in it, but I'm not of it. It's a huge delineation. And because of that, my meditation becomes a place where I create some space. That creates some space for me to actually calm the chaos of the world, so that I may connect and I may hear. So that I may connect and I may hear. Now in prayer, that was never a possibility for me. In prayer, it was a one-way street. It was kind of like this. I need $1 million. God, I need $1 million right now to be able to pay my bills, go on vacation, do what I want to do. Can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? And I listen, maybe. Listen, chaos. Whoop. Was that a bird or was that God? Was that the dog? I think that was the dog. Somebody just walked by me. Was that what? Should I close my eyes now? Should I? So it became this chaos of asking and then waiting and holding my breath, hopefully receiving, and $1 million never showed up. And then we can go into the cascade of how you did it. Well, you're not praying correctly. You're not praying too often. You need to pray more often. You need to pray better. In fact, you need to pray on one knee down, two knees down. You need to pray upside down. You need to pray. It's like that Dr. Seuss. I don't want green eggs and ham. I don't want it on a train. I don't want a plane. You got to pray on a plane. You got to pray on a car. You got to pray in an office. You got to pray in a building. You pray at home. You got to pray. Yeah, this is how you have to do it. It became more chaos for me. And so what I'm going to show you here just briefly, is a state of mind change that you can get into. A state of mind change that will actually create some space for you and move you from this world of just surviving the day with the chaos that continues to pulverize you to a place that you create space, you create and design your own, you create to connect. You create the space to connect and connect with your spiritual side. Your frequency that resonates above you. Your frequency that does not exist in this world. And so here we go. Think about this for a second. Okay, you sit down in a comfortable chair that you could sit for anywhere from 5 to 25 minutes. Could you do more? Yes. There are ways that you can do hours of this. I'm not good at that. Not yet. Okay, but you're going to create this place so that you may create space. And this place will be consistent. Sit in a chair, be comfortable. You're going to take 3 deep breaths. Do it right now. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. But if you're actually listening to this in a space that you can do this, close your eyes. And you're going to take 3 deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And blow it out. Like it's rattling your lips. Like your lips need to go. Second breath in. Breathe it out. And one more. And blow it all the way out. Even if you don't go any further from that moment right there, you have created a shift. You can hear it in my language. You can see it in my pace, my tempo. Okay, now I can ramp that tempo back up, but we've created what? Just a calmness that starts to soothe over. From that point, all you need to do is realize that every thought that you have, you need to be up and above. So those thoughts, if you will, we've had somebody give an example at one time that there's a fire. You could throw your body into the fire, meaning closed eyes, and you're visualizing this. Did you throw your body into the fire? You throw your thoughts in the fire because we are not of this world. We're not of our body. We're not of our thoughts. These thoughts are just created. And so you create space by getting up and above your body. What a cool thing if your body aches that you cannot be of that body. For a moment, you let the body go, and every thought that you have comes by and you just let it go. It falls into the fire to be burned. It falls into the fire, and you're above your thoughts and you're above your body. To be able to have a time and to be able to have an experience that is in this space for as long as you need. It is ultimately quiet. Because the thoughts are gone, the aches and the feelings of your body are totally gone to a point that you are up and above, wherever that may take you. And so you create this space for about minimum of 5 minutes if you can. If you need to set a timer, that's okay. Even letting go of time is a good thing in this space. If you got the flexibility, go as far as you want to go. And then as you come out of it, you start to feel your body. You start to see your thoughts again. But there will be a clarity and a calmness that you come out of this that you have never experienced before. It takes practice, ladies and gentlemen. It takes practice. So do it consistently and watch the effects that it has in your world. It's got to be part of a morning routine. Now you're going throughout the day. I'll leave you with this one last thought. You're going throughout the day, you got some chaos, you're really upset, you're really triggered by something. Do what we call a shift lift. I have my staff do this all the time. Walk in, I'm like, uh-oh, we're going to do shift lifts. So everybody, deep breath, 3 deep breaths, just like we did. And then I want 10 push-ups or 10 air squats or 5 burpees. We can just make it up, right? Shoo, shoo, shoo. And the body starts moving, blood starts pumping, and then 3 deep breaths right after that. Good, here we go. And we're going to move. And it's a whole different shift. I do this with my kids. Like, we're getting frustrated. It's just like, all right, shift lift. Here we go, 3 deep breaths. And they're like, no, I don't want to. No, I'm sorry. And they fight it until they do it. And then they do it, and then they smile at the end. It's like, okay. That's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Put repetition, put the meditation, and the consistency in your life today, and watch what transpires. Comment on Facebook, comment on Instagram if this makes a difference in mine and in your world. Share it with somebody else. In love and light, we'll talk to you next time.